What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. And one of the most injury-plagued seasons in recent sports memory, the New Orleans Pelicans unfortunately suffered yet another hit as Dejounte Murray went out with what ultimately was confirmed to be a torn right Achilles tendon against the Boston Celtics. Murray was pursuing his own miss when he went down late in the first quarter of Friday night's 118 to 116 loss to the Boston Celtics.
And the smallest man on the floor was inside. A little bit short, but right back. And ooh, what happened? Dejounte down and in pain. Oh no. Good take by Trey, but you can't get a timeout. Take a foul.
Man.
You said it. He said it over to the locker room. This is unbelievable. 3:51 to play in the first quarter.
And you could tell by the voice and the reaction of the announcing crew that they kind of knew what it was. If you watch basketball as long as they have, longer than me, obviously, but I've been watching NBA basketball for now about 35 years, and you know when you see a player react like that, especially when it's a non-contact injury and they instantly grab that lower part of their leg, that's when you pretty much know more than likely 95% of the time they suffered an Achilles rupture. And ultimately that's what that was. And, like I said, this was a horrible season. Give me 1 second here. This has been a horrible season for the New Orleans Pelicans. As Murray joins the small army of injured Pelicans this season. In late November, every available player the Pelicans had to put on the floor was either a rookie or a minimum deal player. Currently, Zion Williamson, who has played in just 13 games, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, Danny Theus, and Jordan Hawkins are out, along with Murray, who also suffered a fractured hand, on open night of this season. He missed a multitude of games behind that injury. And when you look at, like I said before, I don't know if it's something in the water, because you look at what happened down there, and I say in the water because you look at what happened with the Saints in the NFL with the various injuries they suffered. And when you look at the Pelicans, and I'm not mistaken, someone could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that both franchises are under the same ownership, right? Someone could correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I thought I remember reading that. So, this is just, I don't know, man. But then again, it's been a fluky year all around. I mean, who the hell would have thought New Orleans would have had a blizzard of all things? There's just been a crazy, crazy year for the New Orleans Pelicans organization. For the season, Dejounte Murray had appeared in 31 games, averaging 17.5 points. Of course, that last performance with him being hurt in the first quarter hurts his numbers a little bit, but averaging 17.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, 7.4 assists. He was only shooting 39.3% from the field and just 29.9% from three-point range. But he was shooting 82.3% from the line. For his career, he's a 45.3% career shooter, and he shoots 34% from the three-point line. And, it's just, like I said, man, I don't understand what it is behind the rash of injuries that we see in the NBA, because and I mean, you can look at different varying factors. I tend to think that there's not enough time devoted by these players to prep for the upcoming season. One thing that is missing from the routine of players today that I've seen is practice. I also get the impression that these guys don't condition themselves enough, which includes practice, going into the grind and grueling schedule of 82-game schedule season, which is probably why these guys complain so much, about the grind of a season. I don't think some of these guys are in peak NBA shape. Because that's the only thing I can think of. I don't think these guys are in peak NBA conditioning. I think they're in enough conditioning to play basketball. But for the grind of an 82-game schedule, I don't know if these guys are in the shape or in the conditioning that we saw of past athletes. Remember, in the 60s, they were playing in the fastest pace in the history of the league. And they had Chuck Taylors on, and they had to go through real physical grind basketball games. It was real physical, as I'm saying, and I'm not saying guys didn't get hurt, but honestly, players did get hurt and they played through it for the most part, which of course ultimately shortened their careers. I mean, back then, a long NBA career was probably 13, 14 seasons. Hell, Elvin Hayes playing 16 years was the record for a long time. So that was a drawback, but you got a better product when you were an NBA fan because you got to see the stars play. And even if they weren't at 100%, look, Charles Barkley at 80% is still going to give you 20 and 10, you know what I'm saying? Or 22 and 12 at 80%. So it's like the players used to feel like they had to have an obligation to go out there and play, contractually and just for the product of the NBA. Today, everything is so business orientated, and the players, they do a bad job of hiding it, in my opinion, but they don't really care about the fans. They don't care about the fans. They have an adversarial relationship, I would say, with the fan base today. And that's a shame, And that's not. I'm trying to knock on Dejounte Murray. I'm just saying, like, I'm going to say something that I don't think most people are going to say if they talk about this, and that is, I think most people don't even care. I don't think they care. See, Dejounte Murray is going to have to go through the grind of surgery and then rehabbing for the upcoming season. Pain, grind. Feeling like he may have let his teammates down with this injury, even though he had no control over it. Anxiety, obviously, about where his career is going to progress after this, although he'll probably be fine. But, at the end of the day, once you suffer an Achilles injury, even though we've seen some remarkable things with Kevin Durant and then prior to that, Dominique Wilkins, more often than not, players are never the same after Achilles injury. Now, we've made a lot of progress in this area as far as medically and science, but still, more often than not, players are not the same after an Achilles rupture. So he's probably having a lot of anxiety right now as far as what type of player am I going to be? Am I still going to be the same Dejounte Murray? And I'll tell you, man, it's just, that's the thing about the sports world. One day you're on top of the world, and then one fluke injury later, and you don't know what's going to happen. So I have a lot of sympathy right now for Dejounte Murray. I don't care if he's a millionaire. I don't care about all that shit. At the end of the day, that's his livelihood. You know what I'm saying? That's how he makes his. That's how he makes his money. That's how he provides. That's how he provides. I don't know if he's married to have a family, but that's how he provides. You know what I'm saying? So, um, anyway, I'm gonna be rambling a little bit at the end. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I just wish him the best, man. Tell me what you guys think.
Real.